north, and I want to know which way is south, and so we created creeds in order to do that. I'm curious, though, as to why in Scripture, especially the Old Testament, which is the majority of Scripture, there's no bullet points. I mean, you know, it's just story after 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 story, and then a story, and then another story, and then a story, and then another story, and then after that there's a story, and then there's this other story, and on and on and on. Even in the propositional truths of the New Testament, you see that there's a narrative flow to the arguments. Hebrews is written in a chiasm. It's an ancient Hebrew form of literature. James, if you follow James, there's a very clear narrative involved in that text. Consider all joy when you encounter various trials, knowing the testing of your faith produces endurance. Okay, so now we know these people are considering also that they're in trial. There's crisis in their life. Then he talks about finances. Okay, well now we know their struggle is financial. They're in financial crisis. Then he says, if you're in crisis, pray and ask God for wisdom. Okay, so now we know that God deals with financial crisis by giving you wisdom, not by giving you money. And then he gives them wisdom. And he says, see, the rich will have all their possessions burned, but you, the poor, are going to have it great because you won't be losing anything anyway. Right? And then he says, here's the other thing. You're guilty of socioeconomic prejudice. You care more about rich people than you do about poor people, and you're ashamed to be associated with poor people. You don't even want them in your church. You see the narrative that flows through that text? The human heart responds to narrative. Did you know there are principles that make a good narrative? You ever been to a bad movie? Yeah, I walk out of like, I don't know, 20 or 30% of the movies that I go to anymore. Because for a number of reasons, and a lot of times I can't identify why. I'm just not tracking with the story. I don't know where the story is going, or I don't care what the protagonist actually wants in the story, or the thing that he wants, I don't think it's valuable anyway, so it's very hard to identify, and so I just get up and I leave. God is saying something in story. When we look at these narratives throughout Scripture, what God is doing is He is setting a compass within your heart. Stories do that in our lives. They are extremely important. How many of you ever experienced this kind of phenomenon? You go to a movie and you think it's great. And for the 2 hours, maybe even for the 2 days, but certainly for the 2 hours after you see that movie, you feel clear-headed. You feel like life kind of makes sense.